Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll talk about something I've been meaning to say about this bike for some time now. I've owned this bike for over 6 months now, and I'm almost clocking 10,000 kilometer mileage, so I have quite an experience. There are a few things that I had to learn about this bike only after I had gotten it. I could not find sufficient information about them online or through any research that I did before buying the bike. Among them are price and cost implications, fuel consumption, service costs, which we call maintenance costs, and spare parts, modification, proper gear, off-road versus city riding, top boxes, and side panniers. So sit tight, because this video will give you all that information so you don't have to figure it out when it is a little too late. If you are new here, kindly consider subscribing. It goes a long way to support this channel so I keep making better content. Thank you. I have a disclaimer here. Note that the information I give here is by no means subject matter expertise review about the bike, but an honest feedback from a personal experience, and therefore it is just a personal point of view. So first, I want to say thank you to my fans. Your continued support has enabled us to achieve required threshold for monetization, and we have just been officially accepted to the YouTube partnership program. So again, thank you very much. So let's get into the video. So the bike I have here is a Voge525DSX 2024 version. So the specs and riding experience might vary with the other versions. The first point I want to talk about is cost and cost implications. So if you Google or you go to, say, Facebook page of Nairobi Power Bikes, which is where I got the bike from. I do promote these guys a lot. I think they should start giving me some bonuses or sponsoring me, even though they have their own meshach if you ever come across this video. Yeah, so you'll see that the price is around $1 million bob. So you, as my fans, have decided to disclose this info, but it's public knowledge because it's in the internet, it's on social media as well. But they normally give you some kind of discount, say if you pay your deposit early. Yeah, so there's some kind of arrangement. It's not a fixed price, but I'll put that price at $1 million bob. But that's not the only cost. That's why I called it other cost implications. Yeah, as you would see from this video, I'll talk about gear, I'll talk about some modifications that you have to do, and the maintenance cost. So it's $1 million bob just for the bike. And as you'll see, it does not come with some of the things that might be very crucial. So you will have to purchase them as well. So it's $1 million bob, and we'll look at other costs that are tied to that. And then you have maintenance cost. That is my second point, is maintenance cost or service costs and spare parts. First, I'll talk about spare parts. So spare parts, luckily they're available, but not all of them. So Nairobi Power Bikes, where I've been, I've interacted with the boss, I've interacted with the staff members there. They're very nice, and they've shown me in their warehouses, because they have two, I think. So I've been there, I've seen the spare parts for the Voge525DSX, like the fairings and other spare parts like you would want, indicators and such like stuff. But there are things that they don't have, and I'll give an example here. This is something that I went through. So I happened to burn the clutch plates, and there were no spare parts for those, because this is an extension part of the engine. So we had to outsource from outside. Luckily, we got a guy from within Kenya, because we were about to import. So we got a guy from Nakuru who actually sold us Honda clutch plates. Fortunately, they were able to match, because we tried the GS ones, they are not matching. One thing about this Chinese bike, so if you didn't know, or you're new to this channel, the Voge525 is actually a Chinese bike, but a very good and good quality brand. So they have, the plates vary in size, they're not the same size, unlike in other bikes. So for that reason, it's very difficult to get matching clutch plates. So if you burn your clutch plates, you'll struggle getting those spare parts. But for me, I was lucky, someone within Kenya, that is Nakuru, were able to order. They came to Nairobi and they were able to fit them. And my bike now is fine. But that's just an example of a spare part that might not be available within the country and you might have to import. And importation takes some time and there are even further cost implications there. Yeah, but that's just an example. But simple spare parts like crash guards, fairings, lights, modules, they're there at Nairobi Power Bikes and maybe other shops that sell the bikes. But for me, I'll be referencing that shop a lot because that's where I get my bike and that's why I have friends. So that's it about spare parts. For maintenance cost, I want to talk about first and then the subsequent maintenance. So maintenance cost. So your oil change comes after the first 1,000 kilometers and you'll be told do not overstretch your bike when it's new. So if you get the bike right from the shop before its first servicing, you're told not to stretch it a lot. Stretching it a lot here, I mean do not do above 100 kilometers per hour, because what that does after the engine opens or breaks, it might not achieve its top speed. Let's say for Vogue, for instance, top speed is 199 kilometers per hour, and you do well above 100. You rev your bike a lot before its first service. Then after the first service, the bike might not get to its potential or maximum performance. So you are advised to ride it slow and keep low pace up until you get that first service. So first service comes after 1,000 kilometers. It will cost you around 3,500 labor plus the oil change. The oil is 3 liters engine oil, and a liter goes for about, let's say, 700 there. So it's about 2,000 for the 3 liters, and then maybe labor charge maybe 1,000 bob. But now after that, you have to do another 3,000 kilometers for the second. From my schedule, I'm not sure if I'm giving that. Yes, for the second service you go after 3,000. So 3,000 plus 1,000. So you go there after 5,000 kilometers. There about, or 4,500. Then after that you do 10,000 kilometers. So it's like that. But I got a nice mech and it told me to be going there after 3,000 kilometers, just for reference. But what happens if you check on your bike, it will give you some schedule, and then in the manual as well there's a schedule that shows you when and the intervals for visiting the mech. But the second or third, depending on your mech, third service might cost you even more, because there will be an oil filter change, and the oil filter is 4,500, just oil filter alone. Then you top up the 2,000 for the oil, and then maybe labor charge 1,000 bob. So you can do the math, and that will be your maintenance cost. That is when you do oil filter change, the service cost goes up, the maintenance cost goes up almost double. But then in the other subsequent maintenance costs, it's right about around 4,000 or 3,500 there. Then there are a couple of modifications I want to talk about. So the 525, the 2024 version, does not come with side panniers. It's just the top box. Actually, it does not even come with the top box. So I had to buy the top box separately. I think I got it for, was it 16,000 or something? I don't remember. But it's 50 liters or 45 liters, there about 45 liters. It's big and it's good quality, I'll tell you. I've had so much use cases with it. So for me, it has served me. The side panniers, not as much, but it's because I've not done off-road where I need to pack so many things. But over holidays and vacations, when I go with my family, I carry their stuff there. So that's the only use case I've used. But for me, I have plans to do a lot of off-road with the bike. Maybe I'll carry my camping gear there, some food supplies and stuff like that. Yeah, so about modifications, the side panniers, for those ones, first of all, the bike does not come with those, and also it does not come with the racks to install. So I've been told that there are other versions that come with top boxes and side panniers for the Vogue 525, but I think those ones are a different version. They're called the Black Knight, and I've seen them in Europe mostly, but someone tipped me that Nairobi Power Bikes are planning to bring them over this year. So yeah, we'll see about that. But for this one, the blue one, and there's a gray one, the 2024 versions that I got does not come with the racks for the side panel. So I had to buy the racks, and I had to go to a guy in Westlands who's the king of modification, as you've seen in my videos. He's the one who did my crash guards. I'll talk about that in a moment. But he's the one who modified the racks so that I can fit the side panniers. And as you would see, the engine pops on the side. It's like the GS design. So it makes it very difficult to just easily put the racks. There has to be some kind of measurements and balancing and syncing so that it is symmetrical. But yeah, so the side panels also, you have to get them separately together with the racks, and then you have to go get a guy to modify, which those ones are extra costs. So that's something I think you should be aware of. But I think that's about to change, because I think they are bringing the ones that already have the boxes. Yeah, then there are other modifications. The monoshock is adjustable. I've not done my adjustments because I think for me it's comfortable enough with my height, but you can adjust so that depending on your experience and also maybe the terrain you ride. Then the crash guards, the ones that come with the bike are very small, as you've seen in some of my videos when I was showing the accident. When the bike fell, the crash guards could not protect the indicators, so one of the indicator just broke, and I think I fell on a rough patch with some stones, so I think the indicator just hit some stones. So the crash guards are not strong enough to carry the weight. The bike is about, I think, 230 kilos dry weight without any load. So the crash guards could not withstand that. They actually bent. So I got bigger ones, which is another extra modification. You have to buy the metals, the rods, and then you have to pay the guy for the modification. But he did quite a good job. You can watch my other video about crash guard installation. Then the other things, of course, these are auxiliary, as they are called, like auxiliary lights. These ones are just up to you. I don't think they're necessary, but they just make the bike look nicer, especially during the day. I don't use them at night, as I've been warned by my fans. They can blind other drivers, which is dangerous. So I just put them on during the day, especially the flickering ones, the flickering mode. But I can put them on if they're just steady, not blinking ones. But yeah, so that is just a good to have. It's not, I don't think it's necessary anyways. Then on top of modification, I think I'll just jump to my next point, which is point number 5, is the tire. So the tire that comes with the bike is sporty tire, which is for riding in the city, within the city, and on asphalt. If you really want to do some serious off-roading, I think you have to consider changing the tires to get the ones that are well threaded. They are available. I think the cost is around 20 to 26,000 per tire. So that is something you should know about if you really want to do off-road, because I've done some off-road and it was terrible, especially when the ground is slippery. You don't get any traction, even though you have traction control and ABS on the bike. But that is something to be aware of. So tires, yeah, you have to change the tires. Then gear, I've mentioned this is another cost that you might not know, but it's very expensive. Gear is expensive. With this bike comes some personal responsibility, that you have to be responsible and get proper gear. For instance, I'll start with the helmet. You have to get a proper helmet, maybe EU certified, DOT certified, or LS2 or something. Don't just get some cheap generic brand. You might have that for starters, but you can't do that over long stretches and high speed. There are just things you realize. Because for me, I got a cheaper helmet at first, because I first owned Tekken 250cc, and with that I bought a cheaper helmet. But when I got the Vogue, and when I could do those speeds, I quickly realized the helmet was not meant for that. First is the streamline. So the aerodynamics design of the helmet matters a lot when you're at high speed. If it's able to split the air friction so that it doesn't push you all the way back when you're riding, that's one. Then the second one, because if it's a windy or you're at high speed, you can actually feel a very strong push away from your bike, and that can be dangerous. And the other one is the uh, the ventilation. So when the helmet is proper, there's a way it ventilates itself in a way that you only get the oxygen you need, but not all the air that rushes in, getting into your respiratory system might be dangerous. So it's something that you have to save towards so that you get a proper helmet, because um, a poor helmet can have even health implications on you. Just to note. Gear, you have to get jackets, a pair of pants. They're very expensive. You have to get padded ones, and then shin guards. But if you have nice pants, I don't think you might need those shin guards or crash guards on your knee. Then I think that's it. You have to get proper riding boots. I don't even have those. I don't think those ones are high priority. But if you use your nice shoes on the bike, you ride on them, they might actually spoil the shoes. So you need that gear. Or during rainy season, of course, those boots are waterproof, and they come in handy. Or when you're stepping on the mud or off road. The last one is fuel consumption. This one people have asked me a lot, so I would say it's good. It will give you about 3.9 liters per 100 kilometers. That is, it translates to 28 kilometers per liter. And it has EFI, the electric fuel uh, injector. The electric fuel injector, what it does, it balances the consumption so that it is not dependent on the riding skill of the rider. So in as much as you are careless how you pull the throttle, it will just consume what it needs. Unlike if it didn't have the EFI. For instance, the Tekken I used to have, every time I could go home to coast, I would have to fuel at Mtitwandei. And Macu, they have the same capacity, by the way. It's 17 liters, I think. Tekken was 16.5. That's a very small difference. Yet for Vogue, I don't fuel midway. I just go home straight, and I still have some fuel left. So that is something else that yes, it might consume more than a 250cc bike, but because of the EFI, it is very economical. Yeah, so there's it, guys. There you have it. I really meant to do this long time, but I've not been getting enough time to do the voiceover because it takes some time and it requires some research. But this is an honest experience about this bike. I think these are some of the things you need to know before you get the bike, because most of the time, as the bike enthusiasts, we are fascinated about the bike and we only look at the price tag, not and easily forgetting there are other costs that come with that bike that you have to get for a proper riding experience. On top of that, there are things that you might lack even after paying that handsome amount. For me, it's handsome. To some people, it might be small or affordable. But again, I think it's affordable bike compared to the likes of GS, of which in terms of performance and value for your money, I think it's a better bike, way better. And it gives you the same amount of experience, I think. Aesthetics, it's good. I've done some test rides with some friends on this bike. Even some GS riders came to do some test rides and they're very happy with the bike. So the general experience is that the bike is great. It's doing well. It's given me good servicing. I think I've had very some very wonderful experiences with this bike, and I love it. I'm not looking to dispose of it anytime soon because I think for now it's serving the purpose. So in terms of value for money, it's a yes. It's an affordable bargain that gives you way more. But in terms of cost, you have to know these things, and then you have to know that you might not have everything as you might expect, like the side panniers, the modification of crash guards. like to be really proper, you have to cough some extra cost, but I think it's totally worth it. So yeah guys, consider subscribing. See you in the next video. Thank you very much and bye.